Sure. I started selling software products in 1978, so it's been a while.
Right.
Actually, the first product was a cloud-based general ledger application.
In '78.
Yeah.
A little ahead of your time.
Of course, they didn't call it cloud then, they called it time sharing.
Right.
But basically, that's exactly what it was.
Right.
Yeah.
Time sharing. Those aren't condos in Florida or anything, right?
No. That was a teletype machine sitting in an accountant's office and plugging in a few codes and getting back green bar paper on a dot matrix printer.
Wow. So where did that lead you?
You know, I spent the first half of my career learning how to do business one way, and the second half learning how to do it the opposite way. So,
Well, that's like a softball. What does that mean?
like most sales reps in the 70s and 80s, you know, we were taught how to manipulate our customers to do exactly what we wanted them to do. And in the second half of my career, I learned how to do it the opposite way.
Geez, I worked for a division of J&J that told me if I did that, we'd get fired.
Well,
No manipulation.
no manipulation. No, the reality is, it's, you know, the consumers today are so much more educated than they were when I started in the business. You know, 10 years ago, even 10 years ago, the average person making an IT decision, a large enterprise purchase, depended on the sales reps and maybe what Gartner was telling him he ought to do in order to buy equipment. Nowadays, he's got 80% of the education he needs before any sales rep or any business walks in the door. He knows what he wants. So, you know, the mission for all enterprise technology today is to adapt to the needs that the customers know they have walking in the door.
Right.
So it's very different today than it was 30 years ago.
That's good. You're saying the pendulum has swung towards the customer.
Ultimate control now in the hands of the customer.
Well, that's always good as far as I'm concerned. I'm always a big fan of starting with the end user. Who's the beneficiary and deal from that way inward.
And the other thing that's changed dramatically is so much of what was sold even 10 years ago was shelfware. You know, the customer would spend $1 million for a piece of product and end up using a small percentage of its capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Today, people are buying just what they need as they need it on demand.
Right, and then they get the add-ons as they need it, correct?
Right. And they build the volume as they need it, and they're paying
Right.
for what they get.
Right.
So it's much more consumer friendly today.
Very good. So again, you started selling this not called cloud-based product, and then where did that lead you to in terms of your career?
I spent the first few companies, I've been in 15 companies in 30 years, but the first
How many of those were you shareholders in?
well, option holder in almost all of them.
Okay.
Ended up being shareholders in 4 or 5 at the end.
So you really are a